Hey y'all, happy Friday. Happy preparation for your Sabbath. It's the weekend, baby. Anyway, you guys, on Fridays, I like to try to give you guys something to do, just something, to be more beneficial in your life, right? To help you move forward, down more of a clean path, okay? That would be beneficial to you guys in your future, right? Because hey, we were all born alone, and we was all given a chance to try to use our mind, body, soul, whatever gifts we got to try to take care of ourselves, right? All right. So with that being said, right, this body of ours, that allow us energy, and that allow us to make things happen and to get things around. Also, controls what we do in life, and the part of that body is our mind or our heart, our flesh. To us, right? To us, we allow our body, our ways, our fleshy ways control everything about us, right? But the Father, He wed the spirits and not the flesh, right? So we need to be careful, with what we do and how we present ourselves with our body, our ways, and how we use our mind, right? Because we can trick ourselves, we can lead ourselves to believe that everything we do is clean in our eyes, right? Our ways that we practice is just perfect, right? And our mess or our shit don't stink. You see how we all trick thinking that, by allowing our body, our mind, our soul, and our flesh to control the things we do in life, to control how we treat people, control how we go forward in life, control how we be successful in life, right? It is our body, our flesh, our mind, us personally. But again, it's not the spirit, because remember, the Father controls the spirit. He waits the spirit. So we do our way, do our flesh and our, our actions and our ways. But remember, the Father wed us by the spirit, right? Right, and again, as it is written in Proverbs chapter 16:2, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord wed the spirits, which is that short I done this morning, right? So for this weekend, I want you guys to go test your spirit. Test your spirit, not the flesh. We already know how the flesh operate. We know what you can do with your flesh. We know how we can go out there and make bad or good things happen with your flesh. Using the mentality, that's controlling your ways and what you put forth in this world. We know, what your flesh and your physicality can do in this world. But what can your spirit do? Remember, the Father wed the spirits, right? So this Friday, take consideration of your spirit, right? Not your flesh, because the flesh always tempts us to do something. But how is your spirit, right? Because the Father wed the spirits. Your spirit leads you to wanting to try to attempt to make the right decisions, or to attempt to do things in a more clean way, or to attempt to try to walk a more straightforward path instead of going left and right, but straightforward. Is your spirit allowing you to walk that way? Is your spirit, giving you the motivation, that will also receive to your mind, that will have you make decisions that will open doors for you, that will lead you down the clean road, right? To doing clean things in the Father's eyes, by the spirit and not the flesh, okay? So again, remember in Proverbs 16, chapter 16, verse 2, KJV version, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord wed the spirit. And we are. Everything in our own eyes is right. We just right about everything. We know everything. We walk with our heads up like, oh, shit don't stink. But it do, because there's somebody sitting back, just like myself, watching it, and watching how we're destroying ourselves and destroying other lives, and we got to do something about it. So, hey, that's what I'm here for, to try to teach you so you can understand that even though you base your life off flesh, and you do all your actions off flesh, and you treat people accordingly because you're a flesh, and you hurt people accordingly because you're a flesh, or you destroy people because of your flesh, or you even destroy yourself because of your flesh, because of the way your mind of your flesh got you thinking to lead you to treat people a certain way, or to make you think all your ways are clean before your own eyes. That is not true, because us as men, we're going to believe that anyway. But the Father, remember, He weighed our spirits. So even though everything is done within our flesh for love, money, whatever it is, it's from our flesh and our physicality, and how we do it's not from our spirit, because the spirit is contrary to the flesh. Remember, well, you had those who born in the spirit and those who born in the flesh. For the most part, the whole world is born in the flesh. But it's separated. You got those who born of the flesh and those who born of the spirit. Okay? And remember, the flesh is done from men themselves, right? They differentiate their flesh. They operate on that flesh. They hurt that flesh. They heal that flesh. They add to that flesh, right? To support themselves, making them think that all their ways are clean or health from what they do to their flesh, or what they allow their flesh to do to others. Okay? Because the mind is part of the flesh, remember? The spirit is separated, and the spirit is contrary to the flesh. And the spirit is what the Father used to weigh us and to judge us, right? Not our flesh. Because our flesh will allow us to be tempted, and we will fail every time. All right, you guys. So, wait a minute. One more time. So, this Friday, I want you guys to take the time and just consider, is your flesh a bogus thing or a good thing? Or do you do everything according to your flesh, right? Or do you try to allow your spirit to guide you, right? Consider that. Consider the fact, is your flesh doing all the work for you or your spirit, right? Consider the fact, do you think everything about you is clean and everything you do, all your ways are clean, right? Consider that. Take the time to consider that and write it down. Pros and cons, right? And if you see all your cons outweigh your pros, and there's a problem. Then your flesh is overtaking your spirit. So for this weekend or this Friday, take the time to consider your flesh over your spirit, which is more powerful, than the other. And what are you using more to make your decisions with your flesh? Okay? All right, and what are you doing more to make decisions with your spirit? Okay? Take the time to figure it out. Because once you figure it out, it'll help you going forward through your path. Because remember, the spirit is contrary to the flesh. The flesh allows us to live on our own understanding. When we make these wrong decisions, or we allow, our fleshly desires to convince us to date he or she, when we know they're not right for us, when we know, they're going to do us in, all because of their flesh and their lust. The flesh get you wrong every time, So doing that same situation while your flesh is, convincing you to go with he or she, what is your spirit telling you? You see, the spirit is contrary to the flesh, because the spirit is telling you on the other end, that man or that woman now, right? Even though my flesh want them, I want them sexually and mentally and physically, or she or whoever you want them sexually, mentally, and physically. That's your flesh telling you. But the spirit, remember, is contrary to the flesh. On the other hand, that spirit is telling you, that is not good for your flesh. Your flesh and that flesh is not right for each other. The spirit is telling you that. But because you're so lustful, your flesh, you letting your flesh overcome what your spirit tell you, because the flesh and the spirit is contrary to one another. And even though all your ways are clear in your own eyes through your flesh, the Father weighed the spirit, because the spirit carries the most weight, and the spirit is going to determine your eternal life. All right, you guys. Hope you guys enjoy this Friday. Having preparation for your Saturday. Don't forget to focus on this Friday. Consider your flesh and your spirit. Have a wonderful weekend. I love you guys. Bye now. Peace.